Beat News, spotlight on substance misuse.
Teenagers are at that age where they are experimenting, they're open to experiences, so they are going to want to take alcohol. But the important thing is to let them know about alcohol so that they can make informed choices, so that they know about drugs, so that they can make informed choices. It's really about letting them know.
In our concluding part of Spotlight on Substance Misuse, we're taking a look at how our young people are being educated on drugs and alcohol. In some cases, there are concerns that talking about these topics will put ideas in teenagers' heads. However, all of the professionals that spoke to Beat News in the making of this series agreed that age-appropriate education is key to helping teenagers make informed decisions. Annie Tudor is the Regional Rehabilitation Coordinator with the Substance Misuse Services here in the South East.
I know at the end of the day there are a lot of standardised programmes in terms of curriculum with school or education programmes that can be done. But I think the first point is really asking the students, where is it at for you? What do they want to know? We only ask a question to get a response, and when we maybe can't handle that, we naturally back down. First start is, what is your experience, and making it an okay topic.
These students from across the region would like to see more education in schools on alcohol and substance misuse. They feel like they don't get a chance to discuss the issues they want to talk about.
Not really. We don't really go into the details of drugs that much. We had a workshop in second year, but not really anything after that. I think it would be important, going into college, you need information and education on drug use and abuses, I think, because it's a problem that's nationwide and worldwide at the same time.
Well, to be honest, in the classes that we've learnt about drugs, we haven't really learnt a whole lot. We've learnt names and what they can do and stuff like that. Just cocaine and the nicknames and stuff for them. We haven't really learnt how they can destroy you and stuff. Anytime they talk about it, they change the subject. It's just not really talked about that much. I think they just don't want to talk about it, and I don't know, I don't think they want to hear what we have to say.
Barry Fitzpatrick is a teacher in New Ross.
I would think there's definitely constraints to do with the curriculum. The SPHE would be the module that would look at this, which is social, physical and health education. But to be honest, I don't think that what is covered in those classes in all schools is sufficient.
Butler, known as Pimp C, died in a Los Angeles hotel room. The LA County Coroner's Office ruled the rapper's death accidental and attributed to a combination of
apnea and syrup. And we know that syrup on the streets usually has codeine.
Absolutely. We have a problem now with the cough syrup epidemic.
My name is Roger Matha, and I run the Harmony Programme, which is a alcohol and drug education, prevention and rehabilitation programme. This approach to drug and alcohol education is a little bit different because what I use it's a music-based. I use evidence-based music therapy, and I also use evidence-based treatment theories and models. And what I do is I integrate them, and I use pop music videos from artists who have experienced addiction, who have written about addiction. So we're talking about people like Amy Winehouse. Eminem has written quite extensively about his addiction. Ed Sheeran has written about addiction. Macklemore and Ryan, he has written about addiction. So I'm using contemporary artists as a springboard to explain addiction and the root causes.
Thinking he might have sipped just a little bit too much of that cough syrup. His eyelids closed shut, sat back in the chair clutching that cup. Girlfriend came in a couple hours later, said his name, shook him, but he never got up.
A lot of education programs, and I'm not knocking them, but they are quite chalkboard-led, PowerPoint-led education. This really opens up individuals to drug and alcohol issues because it's done through a medium that young people identify, which is music. And music itself is a very emotive force in opening you up. So it's a totally different approach. It's a unique approach. I would like to think that it's a pioneering approach to drug and alcohol education.
Adrian Scanlon would like to see more education for young people. He's a nurse addiction counsellor with Accept in Brookhouse at Waterford Mental Health Services. He believes talking about issues helps the child to understand what they're going through in a sheltered environment. Adrian has this advice for any young person who's experimenting or finds themselves addicted or struggling with substance misuse.
I would say talk about it. It seems that throughout the last few decades, there's been this move to move mental health into a sphere that is more open and honest. But it's still the case that, mental health and substance misuse problems are not mine. They don't belong to me. Move them away. It's a hidden disease and a hidden problem that really needs to be addressed and really needs to be out in the open. And I would say talk to relatives, talk to your doctor, talk to people who are out in the communities, the community-based drug workers. They're kind of a more of an informal contact. And those people generally will guide you in the right direction.